Hello and welcome to the Sunny Side Up podcast. My name is Tara Lynn and I am your host today on the sunny side. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope wherever you're joining me from, it is a sunshine day. If not, like I always say, we're going to cultivate that inner sunshine today. Today, today's topic is Double Down December. Double Down December. Now, I will also say, you guys, this is my first video podcast. So if you are listening to this in an audio form, which obviously my podcast is available everywhere you get your podcast from. However, I think not every podcast platform has video available. So I will share the link with everyone online on Facebook. However, let's go ahead on. It's December, you guys. This is the first full week in December, and I feel like everybody's in panic mode almost, or it's kind of like the calm before the storm. It's like, and I'm in Indiana, so literally there will be a storm at some point. There's going to be a snowstorm. There just is. But it's the calm before the storm in terms of Christmas, right? And even if you're not Christian, Christmas is just celebrated in the United States. Everything's closed on Christmas. Everybody's all about gifts and all the things. So it can be a super stressful month. I don't know about you guys, but I am feeling it already. And I even had like 5 texts today from family members talking about what exactly are we doing for Christmas, who's bringing what, all the things. So it can be stressful. So I thought it would be fitting to do a podcast about December and about doubling down. What do I mean by that? I mean, this is the time where we need to double down on all the good things, our good habits, our joy, our highest self. This is the most important time of the year that we have to do that, because it's so easy to fall off the wagon. You guys know what I mean? Like, it is so easy. One party and bam, you ate all the things, you drank all night, you're hungover the next day, and it throws you off the wagon for several days. We don't want that to happen. Okay. Now, that being said, we do want to have fun and bring the joy. So today I'm going to talk to you about my 5 ideas to help you live your best life in December, double down on health, and double down on joy. Okay. So let's get started. All right. So, my number one My number one thing is to get perspective and to get a grip. Okay. So get perspective. Don't go crazy. You know, I feel like a lot of people that this is their thought pattern. This is the last month of the year. And they're like, well, it's the last month. Everything's out the window. We're just going to start everything again in January. And that's with everything. That's with especially eating, drinking, because there's all the parties, all the get togethers. It's cold. Everybody's staying inside. It's also with finances. People are like spending and buying all these things they don't necessarily need or need to buy for people. And everything's out the window. And so when you do a whole month like that, or even if it's like 2 weeks, that throws you back so much. You're going to just be off of all of your healthy habits. All your spending's out of control. By the time January comes, you are like 2 months or 3 months behind where you were. It doesn't have to be like that. Okay? So get perspective. Yes, it's the last month of the year, but it's the last month of the year. It's not the last month of the forever. January's coming. We're going to be here. So let's not screw it up. Okay. So get perspective. All right. Everything's going to be fine. We do this every year. You've been through how many Decembers in your life? You're going to get through this one. Okay. Um, okay. Number two. My number two thing is, and this sounds really cheesy and cliche, but if you're listening to me, you guys know me. I can be slightly cheesy. Okay. But number two, and this is my second idea to help you live your best life in December, it is to remember that this month is not about the gifts. It's about being kind. It's about being kind to people. It's about being thoughtful. Don't let it be about the gifts. That can be hard. That's come from somebody who loves gifts. Gifts are like my love language. So I love gifts. However, a gift doesn't have to be something monetary. It can be like an act of kindness. It can be an activity. Um, like something that my kids and I do. I'll ask them let's go. Do you guys want to go see a movie on Christmas Day? Because, the movies are always open. And we do that. You know, it can be an experience. You could be like, well, how about for Christmas we go somewhere? It can be a trip. It can be you baking something for someone. That's always a nice thing. It's like it takes a little more thought and a little more care, especially if um, what someone really likes. And like, let's say somebody really likes chocolate and you make them some brownies or something with chocolate in it. Who doesn't like chocolate, right? So, think about whoever it is that you're going to buy something for and maybe think about how can I make this personal to them? And it doesn't have to cost a lot of money, something, even like an ornament, a Christmas ornament, I feel like is a nice gift. If you know that someone really likes a certain animal, I have a sister who really likes cats. Okay, everybody knows it's Jill. Okay, everyone knows Jill. Okay, I have a podcast. I'm going to give you a shout out, sort of a shout out. Okay, so Jill's got these two black cats, and a good gift for her would be something that has black cats on it. And I've seen things like a pair of socks with black cats, um, a coffee mug with black cats. This is just an example. So those things aren't very expensive, but if she gets a coffee mug or a pair of socks with black cats, it could cost me $5. It would be like her favorite gift. So find out like what the person really likes. That's what I love giving gifts. I love giving gifts. Like I find out I try to listen to cues from people like what do they like? And they'll say something one time and I'll think, "Oh, I got to get them that for a gift or whatever." So, um pay attention to that, you know? So be thoughtful. Be thoughtful. Another good gift that is not very expensive, you guys, is photographs. If you print off a picture of someone and their kids or them doing a certain experience or whatever, put it in a picture frame and give it to them. It's so meaningful and they're like so surprised. I've done that a lot of times with people and they're like, oh, because they know I had to like print out the picture. It just takes some thought. Get a picture frame. It's really cheap too. Obviously, you can get pictures printed at Walgreens for a couple dollars. You can get picture frame anywhere for a few dollars. But something like that is inexpensive. It's thoughtful because coming back to the season, this is a season to be thoughtful. It's a season to be kind. It's a season to be caring. So we want to double down on kindness, double down on caring because this month is a month where people are impatient and crappy and mean to people. Like, have you guys been out? Obviously, everyone's been out. This time of year, people are so impatient. Like, you're buying something at a store, grocery store, you're at a restaurant, drive-through, you're waiting on something. Everybody is impatient and they're just mean. A lot of people are just mean to the people that work there, and the people that work there, they're probably not getting paid very much. They're probably having a bad day because they've had people impatient all day. So think about how meaningful it would be to them if you really look them in the eye, and ask, "How are you? How are you doing? How's your day?" "Oh, I can see it's so busy in here," right? Even if they're in a crappy mood, I always think to myself, like if I'm someplace and somebody is being crappy, which has happened, I think about like, well, that person what if that was my sister, or that was my daughter? They're having a crappy day. I'm not going to be crappy back to them. If you're crappy back to somebody, what's that gonna do? Are they gonna be like, "Oh, I'm sorry"? No, they're gonna be more crappy. And then what are you're gonna be more crappy to them. And it goes back and forth and back and forth, and then everybody feels like crap, you know? So, you be the one to be your highest self. If it is your goal and you're going out and you're saying, "I'm gonna be my highest self today." Wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to be my highest self. Act in alignment to that. Would your highest self be crappy to the person who's checking you out at the store? Or would your highest self give them some grace and smile, even if they didn't smile back? So think about that. You be the one to have the good attitude. You do that. Don't wait for other people to do it for you and say, "Oh, I'll do it if they earn it." They don't no. Don't it doesn't work like that. You have to be the one to be kind. And most likely you will get that back. So smile, be kind to people, even if they don't deserve it. Air quotes here if you're not watching me. Doesn't matter. They deserve grace and they deserve to be treated like a human being because we're all human beings. So don't forget that. Keep that in mind, especially in December. That's something we need to double down on kindness. Okay. Okay. Let's move along. Number 3. So, number 3 has to do with happiness, a way to double down on happiness. My number 3 is to consider a new holiday tradition. Okay. Because it is December. It's December. Um, a few years ago, I started a holiday tradition with my kids and I, and we go to the holiday lighting downtown. I live in Fort Wayne, and there's the day before Thanksgiving, there's this big holiday lighting. Thousands of people go downtown, and there's all of these things like Christmas things that get lit up. There's a Santa Claus on a wall. It's got reindeer, and everybody goes, and like Santa's there. I tell my kids that's the real Santa, although they don't believe in Santa anymore, but that doesn't matter. And everybody does a countdown. They're like 10, 9, 8, 7, and then it lights up, and everyone's like, "Yay!" And then they walk to the next thing, and that gets lit up. Walk to the next thing, and then there's hot chocolate outside, and there's cookies, stuff like that. So we started that tradition a few years ago, and it's just the kids and I. But it's something we look forward to, and they know we do it. I don't know why I never did it. Well, when I was growing up, we really didn't do any traditions like that in my house. But all the years, in my 20s, 30s, I never did anything like that. And now that I have kids, I'm a single mom. I guess like when they're little, if you're a single parent, you might resonate with this. I always hesitated to take them places by myself because it's a lot of work. And then if there's a lot of people around, like I couldn't imagine being if I have a baby and a toddler and I'm out in this huge crowd of thousands of people, that's a little tricky, right? But now my kids are old enough, we can do a lot more things. So we've done a lot more things this year. And the past few years, we started this tradition. We also do a tradition of we do the Winter Wonder Dash, which is like a holiday run. And my kid's grandma Cheryl started us on that. Shout out to Cheryl. And so we do that every year. We've done that every year for like the past 5 years. So those are things that the kids know that we do. We look forward to it. So we're not going to give any pushback for that because they know we do it. Like we do this every year, you guys. So think about a holiday tradition that you can do in December, even if you've never done one before. You know, don't be one of those people that's like, oh, it's so crowded. I'm just going to avoid everything. Don't avoid everything. These are the things that I'm telling you to do are going to help you have an awesome December and an awesome, joyful day to day. So try something new, put yourself out there. Try a new tradition, try a new restaurant, try a new place to go to listen to music, something. Make your own tradition. And even if you're listening, you're like, well, I don't have family or I don't have kids around anymore. If it's just me, you can still have a tradition, just you. Maybe you're going to watch, oh my gosh, I watch It's a Wonderful Life every year. That's my favorite Christmas movie. Maybe you're going to watch It's a Wonderful Life. You're going to bake all day and bake for your neighbor. Go over and surprise them with some Christmas cookies, or take some things to your church, or go volunteer somewhere on Christmas, whatever. Make your own tradition where you're telling yourself, okay, I'm going to do this on this day, and that's going to be my tradition. That's going to make the holiday season and December more joyful. Okay, moving along. All right, number 4. This is my 4th idea to help you live your best life and double down on all the good things in December. Number 4, you guys, you knew I was going to say this. Exercise every day. Every day? Yeah, every day. And actually, I'm going to suggest doing 2-a-days. I really am. It's December. It is stressful. You need to move your body more than ever in December. Now, you guys know me. I'm always telling people, move your body, change your mind, right? I'm going to give you a lecture. You may not need a lecture, but you're here, so we're getting a lecture. When you exercise and you move your body, you are building up, you are generating energy in your body. That energy is not only going to give you physical energy that you need to feel good, but it's going to give you mental energy that you need to find clarity, to do well at work, to do any kind of creative projects, anything and everything. It all begins with physiology, okay? Exercise is going to help you feel better. It's going to help you feel good physically and mentally. It's going to help you release all of those feel good chemicals in your body. It's essential. It's essential anyway. And I typically tell people shoot for at least 30 minutes of exercise a day. However, that being said, if you are someone who you're already working out that much or more, then you know what you can do. You have to be honest with yourself and think, okay, I know I can work out an hour or whatever. Do that. I think double down. Okay, so I'm going to suggest 2-a-days. What's a 2-a-day? 2 days. I first heard of 2-a-days from back in high school when people are in sports, which was not me at all in high school, to say the least. However, they would, like, the guys who were like in football, you have to do like practice, and then they like do all these drills. They're on the field and they're like, so it's like a workout, right? And then later on after school in the evening, they have to come back and do it again. So they're doing it 2 times a day. So I'm going to suggest to shoot for 2-a-days. Now, why would I tell you to do that? I'm not trying to torture you. A couple reasons. Again, you need to double down. You're building your energy. Now, how is that? That might be counterintuitive to some of you, because if you're like me, I used to think that if I wanted more energy, I needed to conserve my energy. I'm going to put conserve in quotes, air quotes, and I needed to rest. And I needed to sit down, have my feet up, be on the couch, and literally rest. That's what I used to think. And then I think, oh, then I'll have energy to get up and do stuff. That is completely wrong. Like 100% wrong. It is the opposite. Okay. Little lesson on energy. Our bodies, and this is something I learned from Brendon Burchard, my coach. Everyone knows I love Brendon Burchard. Our bodies are like power plants. Okay. We don't just have energy. We don't just wake up with energy. We generate energy, like how a power plant generates energy. One of the ways we generate energy is by moving our body. It's by physical activity. There are three main ways that we generate energy within our bodies. To me, the most important one is that physical movement. It's exercise. Another way is sleep. Sleep is essential. We need to be getting good sleep. You need to be doubling down on sleep. And I didn't mention that in here per se. I am obviously mentioning it now because I feel like sleep isn't a problem for most people, you know. Um, However, exercise usually is. The other thing is nutrition, fueling your body with good things, good fuel. Okay, so think about when whatever you're putting into your body. If your body was like a car, the car needs gas to run, right? And you need to like change the oil. That is how food is for our body. Food is fuel. Food is fuel. If you change your mindset to, I need this to fuel my body, think about what are you putting into your body. Okay. Um, okay. So going back to exercise. So you need exercise because in this month of December, you're going to need extra energy. Also, I feel like if you have a goal, let's say you do want to exercise every single day, and that's kind of like your goal. If it's your goal to exercise every single day, if you're what's that phrase? I've heard somebody say, there's like a quote, shoot for the stars or shoot for the moon and you'll reach the stars, or else it's vice versa. Whatever it is, shoot far. So if I'm aiming for every single day, let's say I do miss a day or two, well then I've got 5 days. That's pretty stinking good, you know? So that's why I said 2 a days, because if you're saying I'm going to try 2 a days, then I'll at least get 1. I'll at least get 1. Now, your 2 a days don't have to be, this intense, rigorous, I'm going to the gym and lifting for an hour. It's whatever it is to you. Movement and exercise, moving your body is whatever that is to you. So it could be going out for a walk, you know? It could be riding your bike. It could be going to the gym, doing the elliptical. It could be staying at home and doing yoga. It could be doing Pilates. It could be whatever, playing basketball, whatever it is, doing 2 of. Um, I have another sister. This is not the cat sister. This is another sister. She works out every day. And so she'll say sometimes she does 2 days. And then what she does for her second workout is like going on like a brisk walk, even though it is winter. Well, it's December. It's cold. However, I am still a proponent of going outside and exercising and walking, even if it's cold. You can bundle up. And that fresh air, you still get the sunshine. It is so good for your body. It is so good. Now, I will say the only restriction on that, I would say, is if it is icy, if there's any chance of like falling. Obviously, if it's cold enough that there's going to be ice, don't go outside, But you can still bundle up. You can still bundle up and go outside, And even if you don't have a gym membership, something you can do is look up on your phone, search yoga videos, search 30-minute yoga, 45-minute yoga, 30-minute Pilates, how to exercise at home. like you're going to find all of these free videos on YouTube or whatever. You can watch that and do that. So you don't have any excuse. You don't have any excuse, you know? So move your body every day. Double down on it. You need to double down. This is December, last month, best month, you know? If you want to feel good and you need to fight. Like a part of the reason I made this is because like everything is like against you in December, right? There are cookies at every corner. So you need to fight for this. You need to fight for your health. You need to fight to feel good. You need to fight for your energy. So give yourself a chance, you know? If you have that goal, exercise every day, 2 days, you got it. You got this. You can do it. Okay. I'm going to move on. The last thing on my list. What was my list again? I'm going to tell you what was my list again. My list was these are my 5 ideas to help you live your best life